A catastrophic storm, one of the most powerful of the year, has slammed into southern China, forcing one of the largest evacuations in recent memory. This comes after the same typhoon carved a path of destruction through Taiwan, leaving a trail of death and questions about disaster preparedness. Today, we're looking at the immense power of Super Typhoon Ragasa and its devastating human cost. Typhoon Ragasa, a storm equivalent to a Category 5 hurricane at its peak, has unleashed its fury on Asia. In southern China's Guangdong province, an almost unprecedented evacuation has seen nearly 1.9 million people moved from their homes to safety. This massive relocation was a race against time, as Ragasa made landfall near the city of Yangzheng on Wednesday afternoon, bringing with it ferocious winds of around 195 kilometers per hour. The scale of the shutdown in southern China is staggering. At least 10 cities effectively came to a standstill, with schools, businesses, and public transport all suspended. All train services across the entire Guangdong province were halted, a clear indicator of the severity of the threat. In the city of Shenzhen alone, 400,000 people were ordered to leave their homes. The Chinese government activated a Level 1 emergency response, rushing tens of thousands of tents, beds, and other critical supplies to the region to cope with the aftermath. But before Ragasa reached mainland China, it had already delivered a fatal blow to Taiwan. At least 17 people lost their lives, with the majority of deaths occurring in a single tragic event in Hualien County, a popular tourist destination. The cause was not the wind or the rain directly, but the catastrophic failure of a natural dam. A barrier lake, formed by debris from previous heavy rains, burst its banks. An estimated 60 million tons of water surged into the Guangfu township, a torrent so powerful it swept away vehicles and destroyed a bridge. The aftermath in Taiwan has been one of grief and anger. Initially, over 150 people were reported missing, a number that was thankfully revised down as people were located. However, for 17 families, the loss is permanent. Many residents reported they had insufficient warning before the lake overflowed, prompting Taiwan's Premier Cho Jong-tai to call for an immediate inquiry into the adequacy of the evacuation warnings. Beyond the fatalities, the typhoon left thousands without power and forced the evacuation of over 8,000 people across the island. The nearby global financial hub of Hong Kong was also put on its highest alert. The city issued its number 10 typhoon warning signal as Ragasa passed just 100 kilometers to the south. The storm brought the city to a standstill, grounding over 700 flights and shutting down all businesses and schools. Fierce winds toppled hundreds of trees and even tore the roof off a pedestrian bridge. In a dramatic scene that quickly went viral, massive waves crashed through the glass doors of a hotel, flooding its lobby. At least 62 people were reported injured. The neighboring territory of Macau also faced significant disruption, with widespread flooding and power cuts in low-lying areas. Typhoon Ragasa, known as Super Typhoon Nando in the Philippines, where it began its journey, is the most intense tropical cyclone recorded in 2025. At its peak, its sustained winds reached a terrifying 270 kilometers per hour. While it weakened slightly before hitting China, its power was still immense. Events like these are raising urgent questions about the future of our weather. Scientists have been warning that storms are becoming more powerful as the world gets warmer. Climate change is heating the Earth's oceans, and warmer sea surface temperatures act like fuel, providing more energy for typhoons to intensify. A study from the Chinese University of Hong Kong has suggested that global warming could double the destructive power of typhoons in Asia by the end of this century. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the world's leading authority on the subject, says it is very likely that future tropical cyclones will have higher rainfall rates and stronger winds. While we may not see more storms in total, the proportion of the most dangerous and destructive high-intensity storms, like Ragasa, is expected to rise. From the tragic, sudden flooding in Taiwan to the massive preemptive evacuations in China, the story of Ragasa is a powerful and sobering reminder of the growing threat posed by extreme weather in a warming world.